guys, welcome back to Just By Home and Garden, and today I am going to work on a dog fence. This is by my garage in the back of it, and I'm doing this because I am possibly going to be raising some puppies here in the near future, and I thought it might be a good idea to have some sort of outdoor space that the dogs could be in, where they could go to the bathroom anytime they wanted to and all that stuff when I'm at work, because I work a lot of hours. Plus I do this DIY channel, which is my outlet from being at work, because my work is kind of hard. So I am starting off with some paint, and this paint is leftover paint that I have. It is a paint that is I believe it's like for mailboxes and like anti-rusting and all this stuff. Even though these wood areas are treated, I did paint them in a nice paint that I have left over because I wanted to use it up for one thing, and another thing is that I just wanted to use it so that we could, you know, have these posts last longer. I ideally wanted to do a metal fence, but unfortunately metal fences are really expensive right now. It was actually cheaper for me to build this versus actually buying a metal fence to go in this area. So that's what I did instead. It took a lot of effort and a lot of work to do this fencing and starting it. I did not get to finish it, but I am going to paint all of the posts in that grape color that I've been doing all the trim in, and I figured that would be a cool way to make it last longer also. I was wanting to do the metal fence because of the last longer thing, because I don't want to sit here and redo fencing all the time. I've had to redo my fence that's on the back fence of this area several times because it is a wood fence and it's pretty old, and we've had to replace some of the posts and stuff, and it's a pain in the butt. My hands usually end up hurting real bad from doing this, because you have to run to jackhammer up the area and where the cement is and all this stuff. So I was wanting something that would last a long time, so I looked around, and either you can put fire to the edge of the post, which make it last for like 100 years or something, or you can also paint it too, which also does the same thing. So I decided to paint it because I didn't want to play with fire, and I didn't want to breathe in those yucky fumes, even though these guys are treated. But anyway, I went ahead and I painted all the bottoms of them, so you're going to see a bunch of white on everything. Technically, I believe you are supposed to have these posts buried about 3 feet into the ground because of the fact that I do live in a really cold area, but I'm going to be building up the soil in the area anyways, so I'm not really worried about that part. So by the time everything's all said and done, it's probably all going to be leveled up. I may add more concrete too around the areas after I'm all finished to make the concrete go up a little bit higher. I just wanted to get a base started because, as you know, with concrete, it just takes a little while for everything to build up to that point. I might even get some of those tubes, which I can still do, and make a tube around the whole thing by cutting one of the slits on the side and sealing it back up again. That way the concrete doesn't roll around or roll off, even though there are posts on the fence right now. That way I have a nice big concrete area around those fence posts, which may be something that we decide to do in the future. So I am basically going through all of these fence posts and painting all of this stuff. I have extra wood, as you can see right there, and I'm probably not going to use the whole entire thing. We'll see what happens. It depends. I think I have enough wood to do both sides of the fence with rayon to make it more sturdy. I am going to be using a wire mesh in between for my fence post panels. I guess I could technically cut those pieces up and use them as my pieces in between, like the railing part of it, but I decided not to because at this point in time, because I've already started to put it together, we'll see what happens. I may change my mind and do both just to make sure there's enough railing in between and everything. I'm also considering painting the mesh part too. I can buy a mesh that is actually long enough for the whole entire amount. I think it's like 55 or 60 all the way around. But the problem is that I already had bought some extra stuff for the trellis for the veggie garden that I'd already, did. And so I'm trying to use up what I have. So I'm probably going to put zip ties around those two panels to make them stick together, and you'll see that as I work down later in the video. This video is pretty long today. It's over 30 minutes, which I know I usually make shorter videos, but I wanted to get as much possible as I could get done. I didn't show everything because a lot of it is just me sitting there messing around because I am by myself, trying to level off all the posts, and not all of them are low because there's trees in the way, because I did plant trees a long time ago. I probably should have done this fence a long time ago too, but it's a work in progress and money was tight back then, and I probably should have started this YouTube video back then to show other things that I've done with this house. But, woulda, shoulda, coulda, and it is actually forming to what I've always wanted to do. Eventually down the line there will be a hole also leading from the garage out to where the fence is also. It's a door that opens automatically for both dogs, and then there will be a third collar too. I think I have 3 collars. I have to double check that. So right now I just want to get the fence up, get it started, and then that way I have it ready to go. I am going to have to cut that hole in the side eventually too, but it is super hot in that garage, so I need a split level. I do look on Facebook and stuff, and they're way cheap on there, and I think I'm going to probably buy one of those and then have somebody put it in. I still have to wire my garage and put in drywall and a bunch of other outlets because I'm going to have to eventually down the line get a new circuit box because there's a bunch of stuff that I want to get done with this house, and everything that I want to accomplish. One of the areas, the living room, that I'm going to be working on here probably during the winter time, and kitchen, needs extra circuit boxes because there is not enough circuit boxes and there's not enough power to this house. There's only a few circuits, and I probably need like 30 or 40 outlets, and I don't remember how many I have. It's just not enough. I probably should go count that sometime. And so I've had an electrician out telling me that it's going to cost me about $6,000, maybe more, for all the stuff that I want them to do. As far as putting in lights in the living room, which nobody ever did. There's only one light in there and some other things going on. So all of this stuff is what needs to be done in the house, but I'm actually just starting to wire things up. I got a really good deal on Amazon for electrical wire, and so the electrical wire I am going to be doing is going to go from the pet door all the way over to where the door is, where everything leads out, and then also there's going to be extra wire for another thing too that I'm working on with my doorbell, because I don't want to always charge my battery all the time. So that's what's going on. I am also working on the painting outside still, and I just got my new sprayer, so my new sprayer will also help us possibly get that done a little faster and also a little safer in those archway areas. I don't know how that's going to work yet because I have a feeling I'm going to end up getting paint on the siding. Is probably what's going to happen. But we'll have to see what happens with that too. But as you can see, I'm heading off to the backyard. Sorry for the circle all the way around. I'm going to start digging a bunch of holes. You're going to see me dig a couple holes, and then at some point in time, I kind of don't show everything in the video like I said before, because it is not really, like, it would take forever for me to show everything. So I didn't show a lot of it. I did show some of the digging of the holes. I didn't show how deep it was or anything like that. I show you one fence post that's been concreted in, stuff like that. So, and then of course, for some weird reason, I put painting, you know. They can also, I may take that out actually, so we'll see what happens with that. And then also at the very end, I show the netting too, being started. I didn't finish all the way with the fence, just digging the holes, because there's so many freaking roots in this yard. Not from these trees, but from the trees from the neighbor. The neighbor has these ginormous, big, gigantic trees, and they probably bury underneath the yard. There was also somebody who told me at one point in time, the house had a lot of, like, not boxwoods, but pivots or something that had a lot of branches and stuff and extra roots and stuff, and I don't know if that's from that or from the big ginormous large trees in my neighbor's yard. It's probably from the ginormous trees in the backyard from all my neighbors. These trees, a lot of the trees in the area are really old. My house is an 84, 82, I think it's an 82 actually. I don't know. And they probably were from way before that. I mean, you could probably hug the tree. They're so big. So I have a difficulty this whole time trying to dig these holes really, really well and try to get them down to below the frost level to make sure that this concrete stays in there and all the fence posts are in there too. So I almost want to, and I probably should have rented an auger to do it, but also in some of the areas there are water lines, which I've dug up like several holes, and I don't know that I played it in the video, but I had so many sprinkler lines and everything else. And some of those sprinkler lines could be potentially active, some of them are not. Like where the dog area is, I took out that area because of sprinklers, because it was leaking for one all the time and had a bunch of problems, so I took it out. Eventually down the line, I'm probably just going to get a whole new sprinkler system because there's so many problems with this current one. Luckily, some cool things is that those current things that were in the past have not been back to bother me for the past couple years, knock on wood, say a little prayer, because I fixed some of the problems with the current sprinkler system. I think somebody DIY'd it, which there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to be knowledgeable about what you do. One of the sprinkler systems was buried and stuff like that too, just like some backstory on the house. So, if you see and look at my fence, it's doubly like barriered because that's a cheap and easy way for us to make sure that the fence doesn't blow over, because it was blowing over. We did do the same thing a couple years ago. I live in a really weird neighborhood, and some guy came in and took off the fence posts, and I turned it into the cops. Nobody ever did anything. So this past year when I had my surgery, I ended up having this whole fence thing fixed because it was moving. And I have 2 dogs, and I don't want my dogs to do something weird to the neighbor's kids and all that. So anyway, the fence is fixed too, and then that's what the really bad winds and stuff happened, and everything blew over. Hopefully my fence posts don't blow over, because I don't know that they're that deep, and I probably should use that auger, but woulda, shoulda, coulda, and you know, maybe putting that extra cement on there will help. I don't know. So anyway, I'm making them columns. I do have a gate coming here pretty soon. It'll be here next week. So maybe next weekend I can put in the gate. Who knows? Either that or I'll wait to put the gate in. It does have to be 36 inches across from one post to the other. You'll see me using a measuring tape the whole time. I have not put in all of the support beams in there. Most of it is finished. It just needs the wire mesh and to be painted, honestly, and the gates put on. But I want to make sure that it's sturdy enough at this point in time for all of that. So I'm waiting for the gates to get here so that I can do all that stuff too, and make sure that I can make those forms and stuff around those posts maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm sure you guys will give me some ideas down below, some of you people who work with cement. And then also it'll help me so the dogs don't get into the garden, because I had to take out my garden fence because it rotted away. It was wood. It has been there for 12 years, so this soil gets a lot of water, except for where I am putting the dog fence in, because I got some water areas fixed over there. And as you see me constantly using my tree trimmers, I have to trim the back tree and a couple other tree areas too during this project, just to get the fence to go around it. Hopefully there won't be a problem on the back side with one of the back tree limbs, but I have a feeling it probably will, depending on how big that tree gets too. That's another big possibility. But I trimmed back all these trees on the previous video because I was making way to do all this stuff, just small baby steps for, you know, next year when I'm thinking about purchasing a girl German Shepherd for my boy German Shepherd, to breed them for service dogs like what Michelle does. And I'm a little bit slow at all this stuff just because I have fibromyalgia. So I'm really glad that I have a 3-day weekend this weekend to get this done. This is done over Labor Day. Because then I could get all this stuff done and still have enough time to rest. It doesn't matter, even on the Saturday, I usually get all this stuff done on a Saturday and then post it for the next week. I'm usually try to be done by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I usually start about 11, 10, depending on how I feel that day. So, and then of course the rest of the time is for cooking, for my cooking videos and stuff like that. So unfortunately I don't have any time to do a lot of this stuff during the week, so the weekends are the only times that I have time to do all this stuff, because I am completely exhausted from working with all of my patients that I work with during the day. Colorado's a little different on patient care and stuff like that, so that's why on Saturdays is my outlet. I cook to do whatever I want with my house and accomplish all my house goals, and get to have an outlet from all working with my patients, which I love them, don't get me wrong, but I've been doing dentistry for 20 some years, and I need an outlet at this point in time. I've gotten as high as I can in dentistry as far as, hey, stop! I've gotten as far as I can in dentistry, as far as level and stuff like that in my current position. So there's not much else I can do in my position. So I am loving YouTube at this point in time. It helps me eventually on the line, as soon as I get my 4,000 hours, to pay for all these wonderful projects that I have coming up. But for now, I am using my current salary to help pay for that and the house payment and all the other stuff, if you guys wanted to know. So I hope you enjoyed this video today, and it is pretty much took me Saturday and Sunday to do all of what I did. I haven't finished the whole thing, but I could probably finish it by next week, maybe. We'll see what happens, depending on those doors and when they come. I think they said the 6th or the 9th. I don't know. It was either supposed to be here today or tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. But we'll find out when. They should be here this week, and I'll be able to look at it a little bit before I start setting it up and putting it up. Whether or not I'm going to need some more supports or not, because that's a metal fence or metal gate, and I got a really good deal on it. It's a 6 foot tall by 36 inch wide, or 33 inch wide, sorry. I had to go 36 to make way for all the bolts and stuff, or the hinges and stuff. And it does come with everything except for the gate that I got an extra lever on it so that I could lock both of the gates so that nobody could open the gate and let the dogs out or anything like that. So as long as the naughty kids in the backyard don't do anything weird with my dog and nobody comes and steals my dog, it should be fine. I've had people steal my dog before. My German Shepherd I had before this one, I had bought it from the same lady, and so I'm kind of leery about leaving the dogs outside in this neighborhood. I have video cameras everywhere, but hopefully locking the dogs up and locking up with the crate inside and doing all this stuff will hopefully help. We'll see what happens, and I'll have a video camera inside the kennel and outside the kennel so that I can videotape them from time to time. I've had so many people try to steal stuff in this house. That's why I'm like trying to get this house done into a very nice looking house. That way maybe if you do certain things, go outside and make it look like you're moving things around. Sometimes people don't want to come in or look at your house because there's people always here, things like that. But I haven't had any problems with that since I got the security system and since I stopped being around my adoptive parents, because they are also people who steal stuff. So hopefully, and you probably don't want to hear my life story and all that stuff on this, but that's why I am getting locks on my gate and all this stuff to help with all that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and you'll also see at the end of the video where we are posting all of our videos on almost all the social media. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Don't work too hard, and have a wonderful weekend, because this will be posting on always Fridays is the DIY videos, and always Monday is the cooking videos. So we'll see you next week for more fun DIY videos, and leave a comment down below, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Alright guys, I know I said my goodbyes, but I just wanted to chime in right here. This is where I'm kind of determining whether or not I want to put the wire in there a certain way or not. I'm thinking that I'm going to put the zip ties in the middle. They do have metal ones that I can do. I'm also thinking about flipping it over to where it's vertically and then doing it towards the middle, but I don't know yet, so we'll see what happens with that. So anyway, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you like and subscribe to today's video, and